Hey guys, and welcome to an awesome Vermin League game between the Warriors of Chaos led by Lenorm going up against the Ogre Kingdoms with the Captain Rum Schmuck, so otherwise known as Captain Rumduck. The man is an absolute legend and he loves his Ogre Kingdoms. So as we're going to go forward here into the trees, we are going to find the Ogre Kingdoms with a big line of the Gnoblar Trappers. These bad boys with their ranged tools and just mass infantry really help up against the monstrous infantry of the Ogre Balls, which has another good line here. Pretty cheap, but very good here, just bashing through most mid-tier infantry, and they're going to be supported by the Lead Belchers. Lots of good cannons here held by these bad boys with the Lord Choice of the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw Magic. So here with the immune to contact, I'm not sure where that's coming from, but we'll find out very shortly here. And we're going to have the ability of the Troll Guts and then also Brain Gobbler for that negative to leadership. In the backside, we are going to have the Crusher with the Great Weapons. These boys, very, very powerful indeed. Very good armor class, anti-large armor piercing, and just bucket loads of charge bonus. In the middle, now we all know these, the Saber Tusk packs, incredibly powerful, good weapon strength, very mobile, really good at cleaning up in the later stages of the game. The same here on the right hand side, more Crushers with the Great Weapons, and then more of the Saber Tusk packs. So pretty wide build here coming in from the Ogre Kingdoms, but for Tzeentch, going to be quite different. So pretty cheap front line of the Marauders, but in the backside, we are going to be having some of the Chaos Warrior Halberds mixing in for the midline, and then over here on the other side, we are going to have some of the Chosen Halberds. These bad boys, of course, lots of armor, anti-large, armor piercing, all the good stuff that you would hope to have. In the sky, we are going to have the Do Knights of Tzeentch. These bad boys, very good, 105 speed, super fast, shielded, lots of armor, you name it, they've got it. But nothing like the Knights of Immolation. These boys have, of course, their little drop pods. So if I can get onto that there, we are going to have the Searing Torrent, which is a pretty nice ability. Decent armor piercing, but those bomb drops really can rattle some of that cheap infantry. In the middle here, we are going to have the most elite of the elite that the Chaos have to offer, alongside the Severed Claw. So the aspiring champions in the middle, these bad boys are just amazing. Really, really good weapon strength, good armor, and you know, they really can go toe-to-toe with some of the biggest and baddest stuff here that Warhammer has to offer. In the front, we are going to have the Lord Choice, the Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch Magic, here on the disc today, making him nice and mobile. He's going to be having the Paragon of Change, alongside here the Blue Flame, and it looks like the Summon of the Sword of Change. So really good builds coming in both sides. Very excited to see how the Severed Claw and all these Halberds are going to do with Crushers in the backside and then the Lead Belchers. The Lead Belchers is going to be really key here at taking down some of these Halberds, so we can have the Crushers going around and causing all the damage you would hope they could do. So a bit of a skip on here. Looks like both sides going to be doing a bit of a kite here and there. So perhaps going to be pushing pretty quickly with the Marauders. So we're going to dive into combat. They're going to charge up against the Gnoblar Trappers. Really nice damage on the approach. And then a counter charge coming in from the Ogre Balls. Booming straight through there, American football style, right through the middle of those Marauders. Really nice damage. And they're broken so quickly. Very good stuff here coming in from the Rumduck. Now, in the middle, more Ogre Balls charging the front line. This is a really good counter tactic, but of course the cheap infantry just holding the line till we get these Halberds in. Doom Knight's going to be holding in the sky, fighting here with Saber Tusks, diving down on the Marauders. Of course, not much armor here, so the Saber Tusks really will do some excellent damage. Halberds dive in. Saber Tusks are large, so they will need to get out of there. In the backside, it looks like a lot of damage on the Slaughtermaster, maybe some Blue Flame going down there on him. On the side, Halberds now going to be fighting up against Gnoblars with a bit of help here coming in from the Knights of Immolation. More Blue Flame coming out. Decent damage there up against the Lord Choice. Now, he's rather tanky. Well, he doesn't have his healing item in combat, which is a bit of a shame here. One of the best things of the Slaughtermasters. Over in the middle, we are going to have looks like some abilities going down on the Doom Knights. Not too sure what that is, but Gnoblars here fighting with the Ogre Balls. Fighting up against the Chaos Warrior Halberds. Not very good there for either of these bad boys. And of course the Severed Claw going to dive in and do some excellent damage in the trees. So good cycle charge for the Doom Knights. Really good mobility control there coming from Lenorm. But the Lord Choice, oh, he's going to be getting crushed here by the well-named Crushers. They're going to be fighting with that anti-large and armor piercing, and this bad boy is going to go down rather quickly. Negative 6 leadership, he has broken, but he does have some support here from the Halberd. So maybe, just maybe it can path its way out. I'm not too sure, but a Summon of the Chaos spawn in behind. That's going to be a nice hammer and anvil tactic there with some good mass behind, so the Crushers can't get away, but the Halberds can do the damage that is necessary. But the Crushers, they do not care. These bad boys really are holding strong up against tools that are certainly designed to take them down, and it looks like they're going to push it for the Lord Choice, and maybe this could be the end here of the trickery of Tzeentch. In the backside, Noblar's going to be breaking, Leadbelcher's going to be moving back as well. Those cannons firing into the front line up against the infantry. That could be really devastating up against the Severed Claw, but Doom Knights could get in the back here. Leadbelchers really do suffer with poor melee stats. Over on the right-hand side, we see the Knights of Immolation charging off up against the Saber Tusks. They really will struggle there in that fight. And the Saber Tusks, they are going to rampage, luckily here against Marauders, not against Halberds, so getting away with it a little bit there in the backside. Severed Claw going to be moving through into the middle pocket, and really nice stuff here. So Doom Knights now going to be fighting up against the Leadbelchers. Looks like the Slaughtermaster going to be using some Troll Guts on himself to get a bit of healing, but there we go. The Leadbelchers have been broken. A little bit of breathing room coming forward for Chaos. Although I say that, but in come the Crushers. They're going to be firing down the line here. Look at this. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Fantastic. But of course, they don't really want to be staying in combat. That's really where they will suffer if they fight for too long here in the middle. Marauder's going to be wavering. Not too good here for the leadership of Chaos in the middle. And it looks like the Severed Claw are coming across. This is something I really wouldn't want to stick around for. These bad boys really do pack a punch. Now, we do see the Crushers are very slowly going down, but they are losing here in combat. They are going to be shaken. We do see Butcher going down, and that's going to give some good healing and vigor bonuses. But in the sky, bomb drops coming down on the Noblars. Lovely damage there in the middle. That's going to waver them, but we do have some more support coming forward. Crushers do get away, some on the right-hand side as well. Not too sure where they're going just yet. Maybe a rear charge here up against the Severed Claw. But Leadbelchers, they're going to be rotating away. They definitely want to get some good shots here on the Chosen Halberds. But it looks like we're going to dive in here with the Knights of Immolation, just trying to see if we can distract the Crushers and then get some more of those juicy Halberds into the backside here of these lovely monstrous cavalry. So they're going to be fighting in the front. They do have lots of armor piercing, which is going to be quite handy here up against all this heavy metal in the middle. But of course, you know, these bad boys are going to be on foot, so you know, they will be suffering there with that mobility penalty. Crushers do get away. It looks like they should come back in. Maybe a Troll Guts or two in the back would be quite handy. Don't know. The Lord Choice is actually quite far away, so it might not be happening here. Noblar Trappers could hopefully slow down the Knights of Immolation as they do try and take down the Leadbelchers. But it looks like we're going to pull away and maybe get a charge here on the Crushers. Nope, looks like we're going to push them. I think that's the right idea. Keep this nice armor-piercing range out of the battle for as long as possible, and you know, just allow the Halberds to do what the Halberds do best. In the backside, Marauders are going to return. Looks like here we have some Ogre Balls and the Lord Choice. Need to get that back to the middle as much as possible. We do want the Rum Duck here, getting as much healing on the Crushers as possible. I think that is going to be the win condition here. Halberds need to stay together. Of course, losing that Lord Choice not too helpful in the early stage. But Doom Knights having the high ground here, as everyone knows from Obi-Wan Kenobi, is always very handy. Because, of course, you can engage in whatever fight you please. And, you know, nothing can stop you. So charging here up against the Leadbelchers in the back, we need to get those Crushers forward so we can, you know, do a bit of screening here. And, you know, very smartly here, Doom Knight's getting out of the way. Because a couple of models here are going to be a bit of a nightmare. But these boys, they're like elevators. They just go straight up, and they're so annoying to pin on the floor. You have to get a net or just multiple units of cavalry surrounding them from every single angle. In the middle, we do see Severed Claw, and it's really nice that they have that shield because it really does protect those units and means that you have to have sustained damage coming through to have that permanent effect. In the middle, though, we do see Chosen Halberds doing well, of course. The Chaos Warriors, which we are going to have that negative to leadership, that Brain Gobbler in the middle. Looking like we're trying to get a break and push off here of the Halberd Infantry. In the backside, a nice double push coming in for the Doom Knights, trying to do as much damage as possible. All we need to do is break the Leadbelchers, and then the regular Doom Knights can push them off, and then we can get those Knights of Immolation in and amongst all of the main targets. In the backside, fighting together, we are going to have the double Crushers coming in up against the Chaos Warrior Halberds, and it looks like we are going to be breaking with the Tricksy Trappers in the middle. And you know, I'm very surprised they're staying at this stage of the game. You know, these bad boys, you know, they're a little bit tricksy, but, you know, they do stay around. They do fight here for the big Ogre Masters. In the middle, the Doom Knights, and a nice bomb drop there from the Knights of Immolation. They're going to be charging up against the Ogre Balls, and they really do not stand a chance up against the Chosen, let alone with Halberds. So nice rear charge in here from the Crushers, just showing how powerful these boys really are. And I'd like to see the Slaughtermaster getting in, giving some leadership bonuses here, you know, allowing the Ogre Balls, Saber Tusks, and all the lower end leadership units to fight for as long as possible. So charging in up against the Chosen, Severed Claw in there as well, still at full health I might add. You know, that shield really is quite a pain in the backside to deal with. Knights at the top, it looks like as well here, the Knights of Immolation going to get that shield back. That's really keeping them in the fight. Now, do we have enough health here on the battlefield to take down some of these Crushers? Oh no, look at this. We're going to be getting another Butcher going down. That's going to be more healing, more vigor here coming from the cavalry unit. And of course, lots of models in this Crusher here. So that's looking pretty devastating here for the Chaos faction. Now, rear charge up against the Chosen Halberds. Really want to get as many charges as possible. Get those bonus seconds of that charge bonus and melee attack. And also weapon strength, just to fight up against the very high melee defense unit. 59 in total. Taking down Chosen is an absolute nightmare. Severed Claw as well, just really going to town here on as many of these large ogres as possible. You can see some of the ogre balls breaking there. These ones, I don't know how they're so healthy. I don't know where they've been, but you can see they're getting absolutely sliced in the middle as the Lord Choice runs away. He's going to waddle to safety as he leads some of his brethren in behind, fighting up against the elite of the elite in the middle. Now, coming downhill, nice charge here into the flank of the Severed Claw, just really getting that permanent damage now. You can see that blue shield has gone. I actually wouldn't mind pulling them in behind the Chosen, trying to get a bit of shield back, just trying to keep them as healthy as possible, because of course all the healing coming forward here from the Crusher Great Weapons is going to be a nightmare to deal with. In the sky, the Knights of Immolation, wouldn't mind seeing them pushing some of these weaker Ogre Ball units, trying to break them where we can, and then, you know, just trying to see if we can isolate the Crushers in the late stage. In the middle, the Slaughtermaster, very healthy indeed. He's going to be sticking around the Ogre Balls, sticking around the Crushers, just making sure he has as much protection as possible. Nice bomb drop on the middle. AP is at about 30%, so not huge. The Crushers are at 120. You know, they're not going to be feeling that too much. You know, it's going to be brushing that off quite nicely. Just a couple of light rocks there falling on the big boys. In the middle, Ogre Balls charging into the flank here, and with, of course, that devastating flanker ability they have for the Ogre Balls here with the Ogre Charge is going to be really nice at just slamming down here on all these elite Chosen Halberds. In the backside, Noblar Trapper's going to come forward. Having them fighting up against the Halberds means there's going to be a little bit less damage up against the monstrous infantry co. In the middle, though, we do get a separation. We do see the Slaughtermaster getting caught with his pants down here in the pocket. We have the Knights of Immolation and the Doom Knights just pushing him off here. Now, we need to get these Crushers around the corner as quickly as possible. A little bit of a mistake here from the Rum Duck, but it looks like he's going to get away with it. Doom Knights are going to be fighting in the middle, but are we going to get them caught? It looks like the Crushers are in, but the boys, they do get away. They're going to get away rather quickly. Hopefully, we can push off the Ogre Balls in the pocket, but now it's just a melee mash in the middle. Now we see Severed Claw, 16 units still going, 48 there for the Chosen Halberds, 12 there for the Crushers, and 7 here. So really want to attack this unit as much as possible, kill as many models as possible, and reduce that DPS. In the pocket, wavering with the Ogre Balls, Noblar's also going down, a couple of shatters here and there, not looking too good for the Crushers. If they have to fight in sustained combat, this is where I see the Ogre Kingdom starting to go down. Now, Lenore trying to find some good cycle charging with the Doom Knights, coming down on the Great Maw Caster. If we can take him down, maybe we could see a leadership penalty going across map wide. Now, the Knights of Immolation may be charging off against the Ogre Balls. I think that's the target there for me. Trying to see if we can break these units. But no, it looks like we're going to get another charge here from the Ogre Balls in the flank. Maybe trying to save the Slaughtermaster. What are we going to get here? Bit of a spell. Brain Gobbler going down. So on top of the Severed Claw. Looking like we're going to try and get a break. Army losses is not in the favour of Chaos. Good charge here from the Crushers. And it looks like those Ogre Balls on the flank there are going to return. If we can break the Slaughtermaster, that would be very handy. But that's going to be army losses. GG's and well played. Thank you very much here for Lenorm for sending this in. It's always really nice when guys send in such a good game, even if it is a loss. So thank you very much indeed to him, and of course, the Captain Duck himself. Guys, if you enjoyed today, just a quick note, if you'd love to like and subscribe, and also send a comment down for your favourite units in the Chaos or Ogre Kingdom faction, you know, I'd really appreciate that. You know, really just help grow the channel, and of course, you know, push me forward. So let's dive here into both sides. Really like the builds, you know, lots of halberds, really well designed to deal with the large ogre kingdoms. We're going to be seeing 640 value there for the Chaos Lord. I think maybe if it hadn't gone down so early, we're going to put a bit more pressure here on the Slaughtermaster, removing some of this winter magic and the healing, and then maybe that could have been a different story. But 1,680 for the Knights of Immolation, very good control there, good micro coming in from Lenormand, and 1.7k from the regular Doom Knights. 940 for the Severed Claw, 2,590 from the Chosen Halberds. Now that there, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a good performance. That is phenomenal. 24,000 damage dealt, 118 kills. That's a huge amount considering, you know, Ogre Kingdoms aren't known for their mass numbers. So 1,300 for the halberds, 19, not sure what happens to this unit, maybe good cycle charging, maybe a couple of, no, there's no spells on the side, so yeah, maybe just some good cycle charging from Ogre Balls and the Crushers in the middle, and of course 970. So 89 with 121 for the regular Marauders, 100, 300 and 250. So the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw, 276 there for him. Of course, you know, not many damaging spells, but Brain Gobbler coming in for the negative to leadership, really helping with some of those breaks there with the constant cycle charging, and then some really nice healing. 1,670, 2,200 from the Crushers. And, you know, one thing I really want to say about the Captain Rumduck himself, you know, he used to be in DVD and, you know, beloved friend of mine. We used to play a lot, and this is some of the best gameplay I've seen from him since we've ever started playing. So I really want to say really nice stuff there with the Crushers. Cycle charging when he needs to, pulling them out and healing, going around the battlefield, breaking units he needs to, just to make sure that the Warriors of Chaos are down to the minimum numbers, and you can really abuse that mobility. 720, 860 there for the Lead Belchers, 300, 600, 870, 600 from the Ogre Balls, with 160, 170 and 590 for the Saber Tusks. Now, you know, a little bit MVP-ish here sometimes as well. They can be with the Tricksy Trappers. 150, 580, 520, 650 and 150. Now, there may be cheap units, but sometimes they go just a little bit under the radar. Now, of course, you know, good cheap damage here on the Marauders, because of course you want to get rid of those nice and quickly, but, you know, just supplementing some of the damage here on the cheap infantry, so you can save your Ogre Balls, your Saber Tusks, your Crushers. You know, you can have that infantry pinned in place. They take the majority of the damage, whilst the rest of the faction here does all of the damage in total. So, you know, sometimes really falling under the radar, but here, you know, really showing on the value side as well. So really, really nice stuff indeed. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic week. And if you want to see your video here on the channel, do feel free to join the Discord and send it in for replays for casting. Take care. See you soon.